Ready? Are you recording? Are you recording? This is Drill Gun 101. So we're going to start in the cabinet. For our Construction 1 class, we believe operating a cordless drill is a foundational construction concept. You have to be able to master this, and we've probably assumed too much. Everybody thinks, oh, I can use a drill. Okay, let's talk about all the features and functions of the drill. First of all, you're going to choose from one of 8. They're all numbered. We try to use some ordering here. This is number 4. We're pulling it off the wall here. We are going to grab number 5 for no reason other than grabbing number 5. And let's first talk about this. We might want to check before we take it over to our work area if it's got juice. So we're going to push the test button, and indeed it's got 4 bars. If it did not, we could pull it. How do we pull this? In this case with the Milwaukees, we squeeze these ears together, these releasing ears, and that will allow us to slide the battery out. Installing it locks into place. We would swap this up here for a charged battery if we needed to. We always want to throw our battery back in there to charge. Don't just throw it in the cabinet. That may seem obvious, but we want to pay it forward that way. For now, for demonstration purposes, we are going to leave the drill without a battery in it. Bring the battery out to our workstation here. And we're going to go over the features of this drill prior to putting a battery in, okay? First of all, some of the exterior or visible features. This hanger hook is fantastic on a job site for hanging a drill on your tool belt, okay? So it allows you to do this if you're doing other work. Be cautious of the fact that if you've got a countersink bit in there, it might be something safety-wise that you wouldn't want to catch in the back of your leg. So having a bit in there or climbing ladders with the drill, very dangerous. You would want to avoid that. Other features here, we've got a bit holder for a secondary bit. I'll often keep bits in the side pouch of my tool, especially, or my tool belt, especially for something like this where it's dangerous, okay? So normally if we're carrying a drill, we can leave a bit like that out. Other exterior features, 2-speed gear selector. Number 2 is high speed. We're always going to start out and work in number 1. We don't need the high speed yet unless we are drilling through something heavy or I shouldn't say that, actually, unless we are drilling through something that would require high speeds, like using a drill bit in steel or a self-tapping drill into steel siding. The clutch on the top here, I'm going to show you that there is a clutch, and it's numbered 2, in this case all the way up to 14. Some drills are 20, and then this is like max drive, no slip, okay? You should be aware of this before you install a drill bit into the chuck because you can get hurt because this drill is not going to slip at all. So we're going to always start out somewhere in the lower range, like 6 or 8, okay? Other exterior features. This is the reversing switch for controlling the direction of the drill. Now, I've used these enough that I know I'm left-handed, so if I push my left thumb in, it's going to be driving rotation right. Right is tight or clockwise. Righty-tighty, clockwise, okay? To reverse it, push this, it would then rotate counterclockwise. And finally, the trigger, we know that, okay? Let's talk about the chuck now without a battery in it and how to install a bit manually. If we rotate the chuck, we'll notice that these 3 jaws here, 3-jaw chuck, okay, tricera chuck, there's 3 jaws that are gonna come together or go apart. We can spin this until it allows our hex bit, which has 6 sides, and 3 of those 6 are going to line up with 3 of the jaw flats. That's really important that we get these lined up manually or by hand. What we don't want to have happen is sometimes the bit can get in there kitty-wampus like this or loose, or it can tighten up on the points. And this would be bad as well. If it grabbed on the points here, it seems like it's tight, but then the bit would eventually slip and come loose, and we could have problems. So we want to rotate and feel for those flats on the jaws. I'm just allowing this to kind of guide itself in there. Rotating this chuck counterclockwise, and as I get further now, you'll listen and hear, I'm tightening that up. There's a locking mechanism there, really cool system that works inside here. In order to loosen that, I would rotate it clockwise. I can actually feel it unlock right now, and then break that loose, spin it a little further, and I can replace. Now there is a way to do that with the drill in, but you've got to be comfortable with getting this aligned properly. You can do it quicker by running the drill, and I'm going to show you that next. So I'm going to leave this loose and out. we are going to install our battery into our drill. This model is a pull start model. Okay, just kidding, it's not. I was messing with you. It is on speed number 1 right now. It does have variable speed. This is important for you to understand too. This is called throttling the drill. So if we partially depress this, we can get a slower rotation. That's really important for starting screws or when we're finishing out so we don't sink them too deeply. So it's not just wide open and not, okay? How to put this in using the drill to tighten. So we are going to, again, put this in, and we want to get it close by hand. This is just a good habit. But now that it's close, we want to make sure that the drill is spinning to the right or clockwise. And then, oh, look at it, it was walking its way out of there. Put that in there. I'm going to hold the collet. This is the knurled area. That diamond cross thread or cross tread pattern is for grip, and that's called knurling. I'm going to hold that by hand while I'm pulling the trigger, and it's going to tighten up the same. You can hear that tighten up. If you want to just manually install all the time, that's okay. If you want to use the drill, now I'm going to reverse it, hold it, and break that loose to change out a bit. That's up to you. On a job site, yes, it's quickest to do what I just did, but you have to be really confident that you have the drill in and it's spinning straight, okay? Other features here that we need to talk about. Clutching, manual install, rotation directions, checking battery status we got, partial depression of the trigger. Oh, it does turn on a LED light, so if you are in a hard to see area, it will brighten up what you're looking at. 2-speed we talked about. Normally we're going to operate on the number 1 function here, okay? That's plenty fast for driving and drilling. If we put it up to number 2, this might be good for wood drilling, but we have to be careful about actually burning the wood or just leaving it in there and creating too much friction, and then we are dulling the bit and we'll see smoke after a while. Okay, other items to know before we go on to countersinking. If I need a bit that I don't have, we have a tray right now. This is where we keep some of our bits. T20 is Torx drive, square, T25 Torx, Phillips, or our cross bits, 1/4-inch hex, which is a 6-sided driver like this, and miscellaneous. Okay, we have also got bits over here that are either longer, don't fit in the tray, or we've got our speed sockets. And I think we'll talk about these last. These are pretty cool. We'll make the speed socket a part of our countersink bit activity. See,